to our speakers to help introduce the tournament to everyone, of course, our valued partners, and this year's exciting developments. After our moderated Q&A, we will open the floor for questions from our friends from the press. All right, let's begin the party. Of course, we will start with Paring Hype. All right, our first question is, we started the Gentry Open last year toward 2025, but how do you see, what is your long-term vision for Gentry Open?
So when we started, good afternoon everyone, Paring Hype here. So when we started Gentry Open last 2025, the real vision for it is to really uplift the tennis community here in the Philippines. When I started my passion towards tennis, I found it still young, and for a lot of very talented Filipino players that have already exerted all their years into tennis, they lack the proper recognition that they need. And for that, we have decided, the whole team decided together with Palawan, of course, last year decided to uphold and uplift the tennis community as a whole, especially for the youth and for a lot of elite players here in the Philippines.
I'm sure this means a lot to all of our young
Yes.
tennis players. When I covered the Palarong Pambansa last year, napakadami nating very, very talented tennis players all over the country, not just here in Metro Manila. Second question, Sir Hyde, what message would you like to share with the players who want to participate in the Gentry Open 2026?
Of course, for Gentry Open 2026, it's going to be a little different when it comes to our vision and approach to this. So on this year, last year, we made a huge impact on the community in terms of upholding or uplifting the awareness about our tennis community, our players. But this year, we're trying to focus more on our players. So it's going to be a very exciting year for our players because we are investing so much into the courts and into the program to make sure that they have the greatest possible time during the tournament. We're actually putting up, pwede ba natin ilabas yung ano? We're actually preparing something for the players as well, like Players Lounge, where players can actually, take a rest or even train for their upcoming games. This tournament, I would like to announce that this tournament will take 11 days. So it's one of the, if not the most, one of the longest tournament for tennis. This will also be held in CSA Bulacan, just like last year. So that's Colegio San Agustin, Bulacan. Wherein we have 11 courts in there. So we will be accommodating up to maybe 9 to 10 courts every day for the next 11 days. We will have a lot of categories, which the categories later on will be shared to you by the game directors or Bobby. And for that, we would also like to announce the official dates for this tournament. The official dates for this tournament will be on August 20 up to August 30. So that's 11 full days, and of course Sunday will be the finals this coming year. Also with that, we would like to, of course, we already know announcement that we are partnered in the tournament. So the tournament director will be Sir Bobby of Palawan Pawn Shop. So Palawan Pawn Shop has been, palakpakan naman natin. So guys, Palawan Pawn Shop has been very, 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 I couldn't see anyone else beside us than Palawan Pawn Shop. They've dedicated years of support towards the tennis as a sport and as a community here in the Philippines. So we would not rather have anyone beside us in putting up and achieving this milestone. Again, as we break our own record last year, and this year a big change is we will have Sky Warrior as our official ball partner here. Sky Warrior is an ITF approved and accredited sports ball here in the world, and they have had already more than 65% share of their market in India. So we are more than ready to try and accommodate, of course, Sky Warrior here in the Philippines. And with that, this tournament, the Gentry Open 2026, they are actually officially launching their most premium ball that they have, which is the Black Edition, the All Court. This is going to be an official ball for this tournament. Players will also receive their fair share of sets of balls for their training and other support that they need from Sky Warrior. Also, we would like to announce that for the first time here in the Philippines, again, as we break our own record, we are announcing more than 3 million pesos worth of prize pool in total to all players. So more than 3 million, we are breaking our own record last year of 2 million, so that's more than 30% more than what we did last year. And this year we have more partners, more sponsors, and a lot more collaborations with a lot of brands, which I am yet to finalize and announce on a different date. So we will definitely have another press conference before our August 20 to 30 official tournament dates. Ayun. So also with this, we are also announcing that we will have international delegates, international players that are coming. Yes. So one of the first here in the Philippines that we have invited, and a lot of people, a lot of players, elite players internationally have already expressed their interest in joining the Gentry Open 2026. This, I think, would help uplift the community here in tennis, uplift the recognition of international recognition of the Philippine tennis scenery here in the Philippines, and of course, this would also motivate more our Filipino youth, Filipino players to even play on an international standard. And for that, I think that's my announcement for today. I would also would like to give opportunities to other people here up front to give their own announcement. Ayaw mo naman solohin lahat, di ba? Alright, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much. What an exciting year ahead, exciting tournament ahead for all of our players. And parang better din tayo invite international players. What an exciting time for all of the participants of Gentry Open 2026. Thank you so much, Sir Hype. Punta naman tayo kay Sir Miguel. Sir Miguel, of course, Palawan, the Palawan Group of Companies has always been the forefront of grassroots tennis in the Philippines. But what does Palawan hope to achieve through this partnership in the coming years?
Well, as you know, as the largest now financial institution in the country, we have reached different millions of Filipinos, various millions of Filipinos na kailangan, no? And we help them to provide financial success on their everyday needs, whether it's pagsasangla, maintenance, etc. Ngayon, itong mga customer natin na to, na nasa probinsya, nasa mga rural areas, kung papansinin nyo, napaka-importante ng sports para sa kanila. Kasi karamihan sa kanila, pathway towards success. And alam natin, maraming kwentong ganito. Kaya sa Palawan ko, basketball, where we support the youth women's basketball team, and to tennis, where we have been supporting this for over a decade, almost 2 decades na, no? We have been helping different players, no, in supporting. And what makes us proud is that we have a partner like Gentry, who is a proud believer, no, of sports and particularly tennis, no, in uplifting the lives of our countrymen then. So, we very much look forward to this partnership kasi through the leadership of our tournament director, Bobby Mahugnay, makakapag-dala tayo ng players across the different parts of the country. That's number one. And marami tayong mati-discover ng players dito. Pangalawa, we will also be able to discover not just those local players but also international players, which is a game changer. So this creates a platform for Gentry to be able to attract, no, players from foreign countries to go here in the Philippines to compete, so that eventually, you know, we hope to discover the next Alex Ayalas of this world. And of course, in the Philippines naman, especially the tennis community is very popular. Ang mga natin, like sila AJ Lim, Gentry, Ted Madis, no? Sana makilala to ng broader public, no? For appreciation. Lalo na ngayon, I'm sure there is a growing interest of the tennis community. So this is really good timing, no? for this tournament to happen.
Thank you so much, Sir Miguel. I believe the first time I met Sir Miguel was in the press conference as well. For when I was part of the reporter for the UPMBT, it was truly nowhere to go but up for the UPMBT, and now that is the case as well for our young tennis athletes. This time for Ms. Jella. Ms. Jella Palawan again has always been in the about supporting grassroots tennis in the Philippines. But what is it about this sport that inspired the company to make tennis a long-term advocacy?
Thank you for that question. Good afternoon to all. Palawan Group of companies, of course, really supports grassroots tennis. So what about tennis? We believe, not just in tennis, but all other sports, sabi ko din kanina, this is a way for us to really give a place in the game for the youth especially. We believe that every child who has an inclination or an interest to play sports deserves the opportunity to do so. And by being available, to host tournaments in the different areas in the Philippines, again led by Direct Bobby Mamunay, then we are able to not just spark interest, but also really help the youth in building their skills, not just in sports, but really more important is the value of discipline, hard work, and what can be achieved with all of this value. So that's very important. So for us, giving the youth especially access to opportunities like this is so important. That's why again this partnership with Gentry Open is so special. So we thank our partners for allowing us to continue the partnership. And really, as we said earlier, more Alex Ayala. Sabi nga ni Alex Ayala, diba? She wants people, the young ones to see themselves, not just wanting to be the next Alex Ayala, but to see themselves as the next, the next them, really defining themselves, with sports and what can be achieved with all of it.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jella. Thank you so much as well, Sir Mason. Thank you to the Palawan Group of companies. Thank you so much for being a part of Gentry Open. This time, we will head on to the newest member of the Gentry Open family, of course, Sky Warrior Philippines. Let's head on to Coach Gentry Brad Watch. Coach, Sky Warrior is a relatively new brand in the Philippine tennis industry. How do you see this partnership? How do you think this will help build your brand in the Philippines as well?
So, as a brand, we want to share the stage with like-minded vision, which is excellence, innovation, and it should be long-term growth. So we see Gentry Open is not just another tennis tournament. It's I will mention it's a festival of tennis. It's a long-lasting legacy that you have that Mr. Hyde has introduced in the Philippines, and something like Gentry should be everywhere in every country. And with Palawan on board with Gentry, it will be a huge festival of tennis. Thanks to Mr. Bobby Mamunay, our own Derek. So because he's the man behind the tournament things, so he runs it very smoothly. And as we see Sky Warriors is new in the Philippines, but we already have 65% of market share in India. We are there in Hong Kong, we are there in Bangkok, and many other countries. So for Philippines, it's the best partnership we could have asked for or we could have wished for. And this partnership should benefit both the organization as well as the Philippines tennis community.
Festival of Tennis, I love the sound of that. Coach, Sir Hyde already mentioned this in passing earlier. The Sky Warrior Premium Tennis Ball, what makes it ideal? What makes it the ideal official tournament ball for the Gentry Open 2026?
So this ball hasn't made to the Philippines market yet. This ball is being launching at the Gentry Open, especially for Gentry Open, and after that, this will make debut in the market. So this is the best ball I have also played with. my players are playing with it, and 80 players are playing with it. Consistent bounce, consistent performance of the ball is the thing. And in Sky Warrior, we work on the product quality. We don't go on the pricing. We want to work for the product quality, and we want whatever is better for the players. So I assure you, this is one of a kind of a ball, and this is best for the players. And I will again thank you to the Gentry for bringing us in the tournament.
And we look forward to seeing those balls in action in Gentry Open 2026. How about a round of applause, everybody, to all of our esteemed guests joining us right here. But we're not yet done, because right now we're opening the floor for questions from our friends from the press. Anyone can go. You may raise your hand, mention your name and your organization. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Hi everyone, I'm Cherry from SMI Lifestyle. Thank you so much for having us here. So my question is, beyond that 3 million pesos prize pool, what lasting legacy do you hope Gentry Open will leave for young Filipino tennis players?
For young Filipino tennis players, aside from putting up the singing and the standards for hosting a tournament here in the Philippines, other than that is we're looking at possible international clinics for our youth. Actually, we're already in talks with Coach that we are inviting a couple of top players in the ATP to actually do some clinics. When we say clinics, that's like training for the youth here in the Philippines, for the, of course, tennis players, those aspiring tennis players. And that is one of our advocates that we would like to push through. It's more of the support for the youth of tennis players and to give more recognition to all tennis players.
Hello. Good afternoon. Kay Paring Hyde. Paring Hyde, last year you already made history after organizing a tournament worth 2 million pot prize. But the Palawan group of company through Palawan Open just recently matched that 2 million. And now this coming August, 3 million. What motivates you to raise the bar in organizing a tennis tournament?
Well, we always like, thank you for that question, sir. So we always like to put up the standards. So as what we did last year, as what we did, so as we reached and raised the bar last year, alam naman natin, si Palawan is also our partner, pero pare, competitive yung mga yan. Diba? So, with our blessing naman, because actually, the Palawan Open was also powered and coordinated and also was co-managed the tournament by Gentry Open. So, it was a shared blessing that they could put up their 2 million because even before the Palawan Open, we already decided mutually that the Gentry Open will be at more than 3 million pesos pot price.
Paring Hyde, you witnessed the success of Palawan Open sa Rizal Memorial Tennis Stadium. Why not use the Rizal Memorial instead of, although maganda yung CS sa pero malayo malayo para sa mga
So
regular
actually,
fans.
that's one of the hardest decisions that we had to make. We know that medyo malayo ang CSA Bulacan, but last year we were actually very surprised that a lot of people were able to make it to the tournament, especially on the finals that we almost had a full house doon sa CSA Bulacan. Now, why we did that is we have considered a lot of factors. One of the factors that we did consider is the divisions and kung ilan ba ang classes na sasali. So here in the Gentry Open, definitely mas marami kasi ang mga divisions natin dito. That will later on be discussed by Sir Bobby. And also because, of course, of the weather. Now, if we're gonna be doing it on August, we always anticipate that August will be a rainy season for us. And since here in Rizal Memorial Park, it's open court check. And we've also, of course, asked a lot of players. They had a hard time really playing under the sun, and they said verbally that they would prefer something. So I think putting CSA Bulacan as our first choice this year has made great impact on the players, and of course, to protect even our mga magbubuyo doon, yung mga manonood, syempre, at saka of course yung organizers din, to keep them safe off the weather championship. Kaya yun yung naging decision natin.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Bernadette Punzela from Chinese Commercial News. I have 3 questions for Palawan Bay, for Sir Mark Heights, and for the Skywire. Okay, for Palawan Bay, how does the partnership reflect Palawan's mission to support sports in local community?
I think it's very much aligned. I think for over the past decade, what we brought into the table is really discovering champions and athletes, through our grassroots tournament. So, hindi lang sa Manila ang tournaments natin, hindi lang sa Batangas, Cebu, but even we go as far lang as Zamboanga, for example. So, there is a chance for every player to be discovered. And so this aligns very much because Gentry Open for us is sort of like every year a culmination of bringing the best players in the entire Philippines. And what makes it even more exciting is the fact that our players here locally get to compete with international players without having to go to another country. Diba? So I think this is an exciting partnership and very much looking forward to doing that.
Sir, for Paring Heights, sir, how does the Gentry Open connect sports, business, and the community?
So for Gentry Open, how it connects sports and for the Gentry and community-wise is I think tennis as a sport aligns with that of the vision and values and even principles ni Gentry Timepieces, which as sinabi nga ni Coach kanina, that we are here for the excellence and of course innovation, and other countries, especially international countries that host also these types of sports. As you can see, it's also presented by a lot similar to those brands that we hold in Gentry Timepieces, like the luxury watches that we have. So I think for us, there are only 2 sports that we really invest in and support here in the Philippines, which aligns very much with our branding, which is the tennis and golf.
For Sky Warriors, sir, can we expect more partnership in the future that is
As a brand in Sky Warriors is always happy to support Philippines tennis community and tennis around the globe. So you can expect more partnership. We are already with Gentry for a long term. We are expecting something more, and I and my team is here for the love of the game. So we are doing for the love of the game. So I think any brand who is there for tennis, he should be joining hands with us, and we are happy to support every player, every community here.
Thank you.
Hello, this is Brian Lalay from the Philippine Star. To Sir Hyde, I know you mentioned earlier about international players. Can you maybe confirm po ba na meron?
It's for our liaison officer for foreign delegation.
So the liaison officer for foreign delegation is the coach. So I think Coach Chuck will tell us about the players that are coming.
So we have there are 6 to 8 players who will be coming in. We have confirmation from 3 or 4 players already because the details are out now.
Rank player, international rank player.
Vijay Pratap Singh, ATP 552, currently. Parth Agarwal, ATP 1140. Christopher Papa, ATP 789. Former Palawan winner, Palawan Open winner also. So these 3 as confirmed. There will be 2 women players. They will be from the top 800 WTA ranking. But I'll give you the names in the next press con. The Gentry will be issued.
From what country is it?
are those players from what countries?
US and India, maybe someone from Bangkok also. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Sir Hyde or Sir Bobby, what's the number of field right now for both women's and men?
Sa ngayon, ongoing yung ating registration to UTR platform. But the last I checked, it's around 200 for the open category. And the juniors category is loaded already, 300 something. So ang ating deadline of registration until August 10.
Naset na po ba kayo yung round? Pag ganun field, may qualifying, of course.
Yeah, the open category, we have for men singles, we have 64 draw. The doubles is 32 draw. Women's singles, 32 draw, and the women's doubles, 16 draw. Yung excess nung atin, let's say we have 500 entries and we do qualifying rounds. So, sa qualifying rounds, lahat ng excess ng 64, dun sila, and then lahat na magpa-qualify, go to the main draw. The juniors, direct main draw sila. Kung, let's say, per category, let's say dun sa 14 and under boys, we have 120 draw, lahat yun main draw.
Hi, my name is Easter from Orange Magazine. I have a question for Fahrenheit. So my question is, how has Gentry Open evolved into more than just a tennis tournament?
Well, the Gentry evolved in more than just a tennis tournament. That took place when we actually met with the team and decided that we wanted to do more than just a tournament, but also support continuously. So Gentry Open doesn't only support Gentry Open tournament, we have also support other tournaments here in the Philippines because we are sure that these tournaments, as long as we're sure that these tournaments are in line with the values that uplifting the tennis community here in the Philippines, we would most gladly support those tournaments. Especially like what I said kanina, like for the Palawan Open. We did not see them as a competitor. This is not just about tournament, this is not just about Gentry timepieces as a brand. This is more of our corporate social responsibility towards the youth and towards the tennis community.
Any more questions?
One more,
Sir Bobby, one more. Ano yung matrix ng prices?
Yan, napakagandang question mo, kaibigan. Alam nyo, yung huling Palawan Open namin, we try na pantayan yung Gentry pero ayaw pumayag ni Fahrenheit. So that's why naging 3 million. Ang sabi ko sa boss ko kay Mr. Bobby Castro, yung aming founder and chairman, boss, kaya ba natin kapatayin yung 3M? Hindi natin kaya si Fahrenheit. Ibigay na natin sa kanya yung history na siya, pinakamalaking prize money ever in the Philippine tennis. So, last year, yung men's singles champion, nakakuha siya ng 300,000 cash plus freebies amounting also to 300,000. And the women's singles, 150. Mas malaki yung freebies niya. Alam mo naman, pag nagalit si Fahrenheit, alam niyo na yan. Oh. And yung freebies sa lahat ng categories. Yung juniors natin, meron din silang prizes, but in form of gift certificate. And the other categories, basta lahat happy. Kaya lahat nanggugulo na. Nung i-announce natin na open na ang registration natin, by tomorrow, mag-release kami kung ano na yung estado in all level ng aming categories. Pero mahirap talagang pantayan. 3 million. Pag ginaya namin next year yan, 4M na yan.
So yung champion yan, 300,000 pa rin?
400.
400 na pa.
Plus freebies. Yung freebies niya mabigat eh. Hindi namin kayang pantayan yun. Kas lang ang kaya namin yung freebies niya mabigat.
Okay, 2 more questions na lang.
Ang follow po, natanong ko yung international galing sa local, pwede na ba kayo magbanggit ng confirm yung mga top-rank players natin yan?
Yes, mostly ng ating local players nandito, AJ Lim, Eric Jet Olivares, Francis Casey Alcantara, maybe Ruben. Ruben Gonzalez, nag-ask na siya ng dates, kine-check lang niya yung possible. And Cecil Mamit also asked kung pwede pa raw ba siya. Kasi nakita niya yung prize money.
Hall of Famer na siya eh. Hall of Famer na siya, tama na tama.
Alam mo naman yung pag-usaping premyo na, medyo mataas kasi. And kung makikita nyo yung coverage ng ating event, naiiba sa panahon natin ngayon. Iba yung tennis ngayon, iba yung tennis noon. Sumasabay na tayo sa world class. Panoorin nyo yung ating live. Saludo ko sa production ng Gentry.
Last question po. Well, from SMNI. How important is private sector support in elevating Philippine tennis to the international level? Anyone can answer po.
Sorry?
How important is the private sector support in elevating Philippine tennis to the international level?
Well, for the private sector supporting, of course, that adds more credibility to the tournament and to the tennis community here in the Philippines. Our vision to uphold and push our limits here in the Philippines to be an internationally great and recognized tennis tournament and tennis community is utmost priority for us. Now, with the private sector, of course, I would not, as we complement the private sector, actually wala pa po yung mga sponsors na. We haven't finalized all the sponsors for me to really recognize them in this press conference because most of them, if not all, rather, are private sectors, yung mga nag-sponsor for this event. Those who are in line with our vision towards the tennis community in the Philippines. But also, I would also like to thank the Philippine Tennis Association, of course. It's the government that has given us a grade A on this tournament. It's one of only the few grade A's tournaments here in the Philippines. We've also discussed this with Palawan. So Palawan Open last time was a grade B. And as I would like to also clear up the air that this is not a competition between Gentry Open and Palawan Open. This is a very mutual partnership between us. That's why when they started their tournament, they settled for a grade B tournament, something small, something quick, and then later on, because we're all putting all our cards into this tournament, this is the Gentry Open 2026. Ayun, thank you so much.
Can you share the question?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the more the merrier, di ba? I mean, at the end of the day, that's what you want. I also was an age grouper before, tennis player. And mas maganda naman ang